A message for eternity for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better. See, I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers. Gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
You know how fast you were going?
What? How fast you were going?
I don't know. 10?
8.
Be advised, this is an explicit podcast. If you're easily offended, get your panties twisted into a knot. Leave now. Run in your safe space. Get your little cloth for your tears. All the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and his guest and do not reflect the opinions of any local or government agency. Welcome to Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Iceman. Figure I'd throw an extra one out. Had a little time in between escorts. I'll be heading back out about 9 o'clock. We'll be live streaming on Facebook, the escort and stuff. If anybody wants to ride along with me, that's where I'll be. Let me get the important stuff out the way, the housekeeping. We're going to get our Patreons out the way. They help me pay the bills. First off, we got Mr. Dan Carlson from Burley Boards. He's a crew member. Appreciate him. Y'all go to Burley Boards and check him out. He makes some awesome cutting boards, all hand done and stuff. We got T-Bird. We got Mr. Jim P. We got our truck driver, Mr. Hoppy Hoppison. We have A. Ron from I Had to Say It podcast. We have Mr. Z. Palmer, Miss Lauren Stimson, Roy Spalding, not Roy with the P. We got our girl JoJo from Down Under, in Australia, petting kangaroos. We got Miss Kaylee Norris and Natasha A., both from state of Washington, and our OG Patreon member, Melissa Holstein. We appreciate all of them tremendously. It's my first time. I don't know if we got anybody watching on there. I was able to live stream on LinkedIn this time also, unless we get kicked off of there. Not real sure. If you would like a great cigar, if you're a cigar smoker and anybody that likes smoking cigars, you can go to mypatriotcigar.com, and if you use the promo code MotorCop15, you will get 15% off of your order, and anything over $100 you get free shipping. They are premium cigars, well worth it. They are delicious with some whiskey, some bourbon. So go check them out also. Small business man there. You can go get your t-shirts also. Go check out the website, motorcopchronicles.com. All the links and stuff from there. If you want any merchandise and stuff, and you can join the Patreon if you want. Put out all kind of stuff on there. Text, videos, pictures, extra live streams, and member-only episodes. Other than that, we're going to get into this shit. This first story we have tonight is a deputy is got himself arrested for stealing. Okay, we need to do better. This is it's an APSO deputy, not to be confused with an Ascension Parish deputy, but this is going to be an Avoyelles Parish deputy out of Marksville, Louisiana. And all these stories, of course, will be from Louisiana, because you know we have some like really high crime rate for some god awful reason. Like I said, this is Avoyelles Parish. They had a deputy he's accused of stealing. And two other people got, I guess, worked at the store that he was allegedly helping steal from. I don't know what kind of little racket they had going or whatever. But what first caught my eye, I shouldn't be laughing at this cop is stealing, but the man, his name was John R. Mayu from Placerville. He wasn't a road deputy, he was a bailiff, but he's still a commissioned deputy. Mr. Mayu was, y'all ready for this? 76 years old. The hell's he even doing working still? Go retire and enjoy your life. 76 years old. Okay. Got himself arrested. He's been charged with malfeasance in office, criminal conspiracy, and theft. His co-conspirators were Chantel R. Turner, 37, of Marksville. She's been charged with criminal conspiracy and theft. And Isabella Poncho, 21, of Marksville, she's charged with theft. I'm pretty sure they worked there. The man's done his career. I mean, shit, he's 76 years old. He should be retired. But the theft occurred from a Dollar General store. What the hell? It's the dollar store. You're going to jail from stealing shit from the dollar store. If you're going to risk your freedom and stuff, wouldn't you want to rob something a little bit better? Me personally, if I'm going to risk my freedom, I'm going for a bank or something. I'm not going for the $5 sheets at the dollar store. So, but he got arrested, charged. They fired him, of course. Like I say, he's 76 years old, though. I mean, Jesus. This, what's today's date? The 10th. This happened yesterday. The state police arrested all three of them, and they were booked into Avoyelles Parish Jail. Mayu and Turner's bonds were each set at $5,000, and the other person's bond was set at $2,500. He was immediately terminated. The dollar store. This dude went to jail for, this is like the third or fourth story in the last month or 2 months or so, that people have went to jail for robbing freaking dollar stores. if you're going to be a criminal and a thief, at least up your game a little bit, right? Up your game. I mean, the dollar store. I guess it could have been worse. It was a Dollar General. I guess it wasn't a Dollar Tree. It's asinine. It's stupid. I don't like thieving anyway, but the dollar store. This next one here, we had another 50-year-old man out of Calcasieu Parish. He went and got himself arrested also on some drug charges, which is a change because lately we've had nothing but kids breaking the law. So we got to get some of us older people that are, just stupid and break the law too. He got arrested after the police reportedly found cocaine, fentanyl-laced MDMA, and other drugs along with a loaded firearm. It looks like it was a .357 revolver. They found the cocaine and all the other stuff in St. Bernard Parish. He, of course, he was arrested on it. Trying to see why they were there. He was detained on narcotics charges following an investigation conducted by their narcotics unit. They initiated their investigation after, I guess somebody ratted, said that, most likely somebody else got arrested for it. Says, look, do something to work this out. And, you're always looking for the bigger fish. So they basically rolled somebody working their way up the food chain, and that's how they got him. But they recovered 13 grams of cocaine, 49 dosages of MDMA, ecstasy containing fentanyl, 40 tramadol tablets, 2 hydrocodone pills, and some Mary Jane. In the course of their investigation, they found a loaded Smith & Wesson. I'm sorry, it was a .38. It looked like a .357. Excuse me. He also has a lengthy criminal record, go figure, like it would have been his first offense. Drug-related offenses, domestic violence, simple escape, resisting arrest, obstruction, and other gun charges. So I'm sure he most likely convicted felon, possession of a firearm, which I would be guessing. So that's him. He's stupid. He went to jail also. Let's see who else went to jail. Got a little picture for this one. You see this up here? If everybody's watching live. It's not a beaver. This is a Nutria rat. They just call it Nutria. We call them Nutria rats here in Louisiana. Okay, it's a Nutria. We just call them. It's like a big ass rat that swim. You can see its tail on it right here. You can see the tail, the long tail. Anyway, these are like nuisance animals. They're considered evasive nuisance animals here in Louisiana. I guess we get an animal over there, kind of cute, right? I mean, it's like a big beaver with a rat tail instead of a big flat tail. Anyway, that is a man named Harris DeHart. He likes the social media. And he was posting on, I assume, his Facebook or whatever social media account he was on, posting videos. Well, what he was posting was videos of himself cutting the tails off of these while they were still alive. It's not against the law to kill them. They're a nuisance animal. But he was just cutting their tails off while he was trapping them, cutting their tails off, and then letting them back go. Because their tails grow back. So wildlife and fisheries people, somebody alerted them, and they started investigating. And this was in St. Mary Parish. Like I said, that in Louisiana they're considered invasive species. The state will pay people a reward of $6 per Nutria rat tail. Okay, I guess that proves that the folks that killed them, right? State will give you $6 tail. Of course, you gotta be permitted to hunt. You gotta go get a permit to hunt these, but you're supposed to kill them before you cut the tails off. they do this because they damage the marshlands and all this, then the coastline and all that stuff. So it's like a bounty, kind of like in Florida where they have the bounties where for the iguanas and stuff like that out there. It's the same thing out here. But he got arrested because, I mean, think about it. He was just keeping himself in business. I mean, I'm sure it hurts the poor animals, but he's cutting the tails off of them and then letting them go. And I don't know how long. I mean, I'm sure it takes a couple of years for the tails to grow back. I didn't research it, but I mean, he's just keeping the supply chain going instead of, they give you the bounty because they want you to kill them. I haven't eaten any. I've heard that you can eat them, that they taste like chicken. I've never eaten Nutria. I mean, I've eaten raccoon and stuff. Not say I would be against eating one. If somebody knows how to cook it properly, I guess. But this guy, anyway, he got arrested. I mean, he could get a fine and some shit like that. He's not going to go to jail for killing the Nutria rats, but he's just going to pay a fine. But I mean, it's cruel. He shouldn't do that. I mean, he's just trying to make himself some extra money, I guess. But kill the Nutria rat and don't just cut their tails off. Then they just look like big ass hamsters running around, all right? So, or, I mean, well, I guess if criminals were smart, those people in law enforcement would be out of a job, right? Because if he wouldn't have posted this shit online, probably wouldn't have got caught doing it, is what I'm willing to bet. This next one here is this woman's house got raided by the police, Baton Rouge City Police, search warrant. They were performing a search warrant on there. I think they were looking for somebody or some evidence. I think that was involved in a rape or something like that. Okay. Well, no one was home when they did the warrant. Of course, everybody's got Ring cameras and all these cameras on their house. Well, I think these people were out of town or something like that. And, of course, their cameras alert them and stuff like that, hey, something's going on at your house. They look at their cameras and they're like, holy shit, freaking cops all over in their house. And there's a video and stuff. I didn't download it, but there's cops all in like SWAT team. I mean, they got the Bearcat out. I saw part of the picture. They had the Bearcat out with the big like pole on front of it, so they took the front door out with that. They flash banged the house. They did all this shit. I don't know. It didn't say if they found what they were looking for or whatever. It didn't really specify because that wasn't what the story was about. Story's about. I mean, I saw the pictures of it. They trashed this lady's house. This lady's house is like fucked up. Trashed her house, okay, and she's like, I can't afford to fix it. I'm talking about they busted out like damn near every window in the house, like flash banging it and stuff. The front door's like ripped off. I mean, they showed inside the house TV. I mean, they have like 3 big TVs in there that are like smashed and cracked, and I don't know if it's from flashbangs or what going on. I mean, I don't understand why you'd tear somebody's TV up, but her thing is, it's like, who's going to pay for the damages? And from what I understand, that she filed a thing with the Baton Rouge City saying, hey, what the hell's going on? My house got tore up and shit, and nobody's gonna fix it. Her her claim got denied from the parish, from the Baton Rouge parish attorneys. She can refile it, but it's like, I'm kind of curious too. And then, like I said, the story didn't specify if your house is destroyed like that. Wow. When a search warrant's done by a legal search warrant signed by a judge and stuff, and they go in, they search it. I mean, like I said, but they tore the house up. Because I saw the pictures, and I mean TVs and stuff, and you're looking for evidence of some kind of rape or something that was done by the woman's grandson, not her. But I mean, the house is. I mean, they did it. They did probably $10,000 more damage to this house. Who is responsible to pay for the damages, especially if they didn't find nothing they were looking for? I mean, everybody knows I'm a cop. Been doing this for almost 30 years now, and I'm just wondering. I mean, I never thought about it really before. I mean, I was on a SWAT team and stuff before, and we've smashed doors up. Hell, there was one house we got. A story from another time, but I was involved in a shootout inside of a house one time we did in this house. I mean, it would look like Swiss cheese. I mean, there was just bullet holes everywhere. I mean, but who does? Especially, like I said, I never thought about it. And like I said, if they didn't find what they were looking for, and I mean, like I said, I'm pro law enforcement, but do you have the right just to go in and tear people's shit up? And, I mean, like I said, TVs and stuff like that. I mean, what the hell they thought they were going to find in a TV? I mean, they're just smashed. So, I don't know. I'm curious on this one. Hopefully they'll do follow up on it so I can see. Because, like I said, I'm really, really curious on that one. It's like, I mean, I kind of find, if you go in and do that much damage, especially if you don't find nothing, you think the parish or somebody would be responsible for it, the police department or something. I mean, you just can't go in and just like tear people's shit up and be like, oh, my bad, sorry, we didn't find nothing, have a nice night, and, sorry we did, we fucked all your shit up, but and just leave. I mean, that's just messed up. I don't know what the dog is barking. He just got a hair up his ass. Anyway, this one, a man got arrested. Just happened on the 9th. The deputies arrested a man for disrupting school operations after he showed alarming actions when he was told he could not check his daughter out of school when she was being jumped. According to the arrest documents, the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office, Donald Pearson, 35 years old, showed up at Woodlawn Middle School to pick his daughter up on January 27th. Pearson had allegedly received a text from his daughter saying that she was being jumped by other students. School staff told Pearson he could not immediately check his daughter out due to the school being in a transition period between classes. I guess what they're talking about is that, the bell rang and they were switching classes or whatever. It's kind of be hard to announce, hey, Betty Sue come to the office, when the intercoms are only like in the classrooms. It's probably, so I don't know how long it would have been. It says while he was waiting, the dad reportedly received a call. And after the call, he began screaming and cursing for administrators to get his daughter. It was unclear who the phone call was from or what it was regarding. I would assume that it would be from his daughter. That she's saying she's getting jumped in it, but I'll say it in a minute. The dad allegedly ran out of the lobby area and into the school hallways. The middle school was placed into lockdown as his intentions were unknown, but no one was hurt. He surrendered himself to the sheriff's office with a lawyer this past Wednesday, and he was arrested for one count of unlawful. I don't know why it took so long. This happened, it ain't been that long, January 27th. My thing, if his daughter's the one that called and said, hey, these girls are about to jump me, because I'm sure she wasn't getting her ass beat, and she, was like, oh, I'm getting beat up. Let me call my dad and tell him I need help. I mean, I just don't see that happening. I don't see somebody getting beat up and getting on the phone and be like, yeah, I'm getting beat up. Can you help me? No, I don't see that happening. So the girl must have called her dad and said, oh, if that was the case, why didn't dad say, look, I'm in the office, just come to the office? So, but you just can't as a parent. I mean, I understand. I mean, I got kids and stuff, but you just can't as a parent just take off running through these schools like this, especially not how shit goes now. So, I'm sure it's a misdemeanor, I'm assuming. Kind of curious about that one too, but that one just popped up, like I said, yesterday. So, I'd like to say, we probably won't hear nothing else about it. Now, this next story is kind of aggravating for me because, I mean, everybody knows PETA and shit like that, you know. No, it's not people eating tasty animals, you know. But PETA sometimes needs to mind their own damn business. And I'll explain why what my opinion is on this one. This is in Ponchatoula, which if y'all have listened to other things, I mean, it's very small. This is a very small community. It's an old city. It's like more of antique. It's a very old city. They have a strawberry festival and stuff like that. Like I said, it's a real small community. Anyway, towards the middle of the town, close to the railroad tracks, they've always had this like big enclosure with alligators in it. I mean, they're alligators. It's Louisiana. We have them everywhere. Anyway, recently, the owner of this area with the alligators, Mike Kilbert, he owns an alligator in there. And the alligator's name is Hardhide. Hardhide the alligator. And the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries said that the gator has to go from that area, be removed, or they're going to have to euthanize it. Well, the reason is for somebody, one of these PETA people or whatever, decide to stick their nose and stuff. The alligator's not being mistreated or anything like that. And says, because the alligator's got like one of it, they say it's his hand, but one of its front legs, foot area is like it's like big, it's swollen bigger. It is, it's scarred like that, and that's the way it healed. It's not injured or nothing. It was injured and it was like that. And the state even admitted to knowing that it doesn't bother the alligator's not in any pain or being mistreated, but it just don't look real good. So the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries said in a statement the agency inspected the alligator and its enclosure after receiving a complaint back in December. It said it was noted that the alligator did not have any injuries. So they just wondering because PETA's calling or whoever up in an uproar. Now the thing is this alligator is 65 years old. Okay, he's old. He's an old alligator. This alligator has lived in captivity his entire life. He was hatched. This alligator was hatched and raised by his this man's like grandpa or great grandpa. The injury to this alligator happened 45 years ago. Okay. The alligator has been living in this enclosure inside the town for the last 13 years. He's well fed. He's well taken care of. This alligator has never had to fend for himself his entire life. So if this alligator, they can't release him into the wild because he's used to people and stuff like that. So he'll come up to people, which is dangerous. So, but because PETA is over here boo-hooing and stuff like that, this man's grandfather hatched this alligator in 1957. The man's like, this alligator is part of my family. I mean, it's part of his grandpa, his history. And I mean, just because PETA is whining about it, these PETA people need to mind their own damn business. And they came out here in Louisiana a long time ago with the Carol Baskin shit. We had a truck stop called the Tiger Truck Stop. It's still there. They had a tiger. He has since passed away from old age, and he lived a very, very long time. But she was down here trying to get their tiger from them. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Just because the alligator's foot looks like it's hurt, even though it's not, and Wildlife Fisheries have even said that it is not hurt. They wanted to move because some PETA person's feelings are hurt. Oh, look at the poor alligator. This alligator is 65 years old. He could probably live a whole lot longer. He's probably going to live a lot longer than that. The problem is where do you keep? I mean, he's probably 12, 13 feet long. He's a full-grown, big male alligator. You just, like I say, he's taken care of very well. So, like I said, people like that, these And anybody knows me, I'm a big animal person, I don't even go hunting anymore. I mean, I love eating animals. I just don't go kill them unless I have to. If I'm getting hungry enough, I'll go back to my hunting way. But this alligator's being taken care of. He's not being mistreated. Louisiana Wildlife and Fisheries, now tell PETA to go suck a fat one is what they need to do, because this is none of their business. They'll say, nope, we checked on it. That's a 45-year-old injury. That alligator is in perfect health. He's happy. Go to hell away. Go back to California. Go back to the land of fruits and nuts. Leave us Southern people alone down here. We know how to take care of our animals and ourselves. So if I have anything else pop up on that one, I want to hear that one too. Everybody is being awful quiet today. There's nobody in the chats saying nothing. So not used to that, because I am way early and unscheduled. This next one, going back to Baton Rouge. Well, Baton Rouge, today we had, I think this was yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday. They had two minors. They are accused of forcing, see, this is the shit that pisses me off. They're accused of forcing a 70-year-old lady, a 70-year-old grandma. This is an elderly lady. They forced her out of her car at gunpoint, just out of the historic Spanish Town district in Baton Rouge. And of course they carjacked her. This was at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. She was standing in the doorway of her car. She was jumped by the teens, and I guess they took her car. They did catch the two kids. These two kids were 14 freaking years old. 14 years old juveniles. Carjacked this old lady. They're both booked into the juvenile detention center for first-degree robbery. The woman was not hurt, thank goodness. What's bad, though, is they'll probably be out on ankle monitors, which don't freaking work. Before they're probably already at home. Spanish Town's not that bad of an area, but where was the parents? I said this before on other ones, and if the parents don't want to start raising these kids and paying attention, these kids they probably not in school. They should have been at home doing homework at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and not carjacking some lady. We need to start holding the parents responsible. Parents need to put their cell phones down, put your tablets down, start raising your kids. Stop letting the internet, stop letting the video games raise your children. Have every night at supper, don't take that long, 30, 45 minutes. Turn the damn TVs off. Turn all the electronic devices off, and have a dinner, sit down dinner, supper with your family, and talk to your children. Let them talk to you. Find out what's going on in their lives. Discuss whatever. But people's got to start. I mean, these kids nowadays it's getting out of control, especially with the kids. And what happened if these kids would have come up to the wrong person to carjack them? Somebody like, I don't know, me, for example. I'm not just going to just say, okay, take it. Somebody was getting shot. Either me, them, or all of us. But I can guarantee you, I'm not just laying down. So, I mean, what happens? They run up on the wrong person and do that. People are going to die. People are going to get hurt. And it's like, oh, they were such good boys. They're such good boys. No, they weren't. They were good boys. They'd be at home doing their homework, helping her. I mean, I'm saying, one of these days I would love one of these days. It'll probably never happen. If I had a genie in a bottle, I'd rub it. It'll probably never happen. One of these days, I'd love to be able to turn the news on, and somebody's like, "Yep, I told old Jim Bob that if he didn't stop doing that stuff, he was gonna get his ass killed." That's what happened. He's dead, but he brought it on himself. Because you see shit on the news, they show a picture of the person, and it's like a 15-year-old or 10-year-old picture, and it's the only decent picture they had of, because all the other pictures they have, they got guns or dope and all that. I mean, come on, stop freaking faking it. And just, if your relative's a dirtbag, just admit they're a dirtbag. How hard is it for the truth? Really? This one here, we're gonna play the audio. I'm gonna try to. I didn't pull the video on it. This here happened at a middle school at a girls' basketball game. And they had a coach. Well, I didn't have to play the audio because, I mean, I've heard it. So, but they have a coach is being investigated by HR because they had a little altercation at the middle school basketball game. And again, if people were raising their kids right or paying attention to them, this wouldn't happen. This happened on January 26th at a charter middle school. A 13-year-old boy was bullying a 7-year-old boy. That's a big age difference, okay? 13 and 7. I mean, you got a teenager and a 7-year-old. And he had thrown the kid off the bleachers a couple of times. I don't know if he pushed him down. I mean, he just said he threw him off the bleachers a couple of times. Well, the 7-year-old's daddy, who happens to be a coach there, saw this happen. And on the video, you can hear him. He's like, he cusses the kid, "What the hell you doing?" He said, "You touch my," he said, "if you put your hands on my kid one more time, I'm going to break your fucking jaw." Well, I mean, what are we all going to do? You going to let some teenager beat up your little kid that's 7? No. I guarantee I'd have probably said the same thing. And then I'd have probably went and told his parents that in some shit too. You know, because if he's doing that to a 7-year-old already, I mean, come on. But anyway, he from what it said in the story, the teacher has everybody had apologized to everybody and everything's, been squashed, but of course the school's investigating. There's no criminal charges or nothing like that being things. So we'll see what goes on. But I can't fault this man for defending his child, especially against a teenager. I mean, 7 and 13. I mean, this kid was almost, he's over half as old as the other one. I mean, you just don't do that. I mean, yeah, I'd have done the same thing. I don't blame him. Like I said, I'd probably done the same thing if it was my grandkid. Sure, a lot of y'all listen probably would have done the same thing. You're not going to sit there and just let somebody bully your kid. Yeah, I'd have done the same thing. I don't, or anything like that. So, it's not going to happen. So, all right. This next guy, I got me a picture of him. It's accused of murderer. This has got to be him. Is it? That's not him. Thought I had a picture of him. I guess I don't. Don't know what happened to it. Anyway, got this guy. Oh, that's because I got a video with this one. I'm losing my mind. Here we go.
Officers involved in the death of Tyree Nichols on January 19th, Officer Justin Smith provided investigators with his side of what happened the night Nichols was pulled over.
He says that he was supposed to be on desk duty because of a knee injury, but was told to be on patrol and respond to calls when an officer needed assistance. Now, he says a suspect had been tasered and pepper sprayed.
Vincent Judge in Baton Rouge.
That's not the story. I want to apologize. From another one that was from the Nichols stuff earlier. This is the story right here. I was thinking, just don't look right. It happens when you get old.
To remove his ankle monitor because his leg was irritated, was arrested for not following his bond supervision.
That suspect's awaiting trial, and the family of the man who was killed demanding answers as to how and why this happened. The investigative unit and Chris Nakamoto spoke to them and explains what's happening now.
Michael Sylvia, District Attorney Hiller Moore says his office is pushing to have Kevin Duke's bond revoked. It comes after he was arrested last night out of town. Tonight, the family of the man who was killed says this should have never happened.
It just seems like we're the victims.
Joycelyn Davis holds her brother close to her heart every day by wearing his picture on a gold necklace encased with diamonds. Davis's brother, Julius Thomas, was killed in December of 2018, shot to death and dumped on Old Hammond Highway in South Flannery. Within hours of the murder, authorities arrested Kevin Dukes.
They found evidence. They arrested him the next day, which was December the 5th of 2018. He went to jail. They charged him with second-degree murder.
2 years ago, Duke's defense lawyers asked that his ankle monitor be removed.
I wonder how long does it take to go to a trial? You have him in 18. He got arrested. It's 2023. Come on now.
The prosecutors opposed strongly.
He decided that he would take him off his ankle monitor because it was getting to be expensive, and he said he had a health issue, which was diabetes that was causing spots on his leg.
Much to the surprise of Thomas's family, Judge Tarvold Smith granted it.
It was irritating his leg.
It's been exactly 2 years to the day that the WBRZ investigative unit exposed what had happened with Duke's case. The family of the murder victim says what happened here is not surprising. They say it's embarrassing and also a waste of resources that law enforcement had to go get him again.
This warrant for Duke's arrest was issued Monday with the word rush at the top. It appears Dukes did not have his phone monitor working. He's ordered.
Go figure, right? Dude's out on bond, obviously, for murder. Because everybody's presumed innocent, right? So the dude's got diabetes. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. My dad had and stuff like that. Take care of yourself, and you can live a very long time. And a healthy life with diabetes. But the judge, I don't what the judge was. Oh, he's got some spots. Tough shit. If you don't know where an ankle monitor, you shouldn't have killed nobody, right? Don't put yourself in that situation. But so now the family, now the dude, phone monitoring. Like, I just can't leave my phone at the house, or what do? You got to call in every so often? No.
To show up in the same judge's courtroom, who authorized him getting his ankle monitor removed and get tracked by a cell phone. Sources say Dukes was captured in the Lafayette area last night. Thomas's family is heartbroken.
It shattered me and my mom. He's asking him about his health issues. My mom has health issues. Her heart is shattered. Her son was killed, left in the street, and now the murderer is walking around free with his dad and his family to live life until somebody decides to give us justice.
District Attorney Hiller Moore says law enforcement will have to go get Dukes and bring him back to Baton Rouge. Moore says they intend to ask a judge to have Dukes' bond revoked. He's scheduled to go on trial on murder charges in a few months in Baton Rouge. He's also accused.
Dude's also cut off, but that dude right there is also accused of another murder in Livingston Parish. Two murders. This dude's walking around on the street because he's got health issues with his ankle monitor. It's bullshit. I think they need to start holding some of these judges accountable. I always want to holler, hey, we got to have transparency with law enforcement. We got to hold the police accountable. Yeah, we need to be accountable for wrongdoings or our actions. So I have no disagreement with that. But let's hold these these judges need to be freaking held accountable for their bullshit. They're the ones that's letting these bastards out. They go out and re-offend and re-hurt people. Thank God this guy hadn't killed nobody else. He's already killed 2 people. Allegedly killed 2 people. Bullshit. This next one is we've had some cases around here in Louisiana and Baton Rouge stuff where we've had several children died from fentanyl overdoses. Okay. Duke. I don't know what his problem is tonight. Anyway, guess what they found in East Baton Rouge Parish again today? They found an infant sleeping next to a whole bunch of fentanyl during a raid in an apartment. They arrested 2 people and they were booked for child cruelty after deputies found an infant sleeping just a couple feet away from where the drug dealer was apparently cutting and packaging his fentanyl. The accused drug dealer, a 26-year-old Lamaris Robinson, allegedly sold fentanyl to a person who overdosed and died last year. Over the past month, undercover deputies allegedly purchased fentanyl off of Robinson. leading to the arrest warrant for him and the search warrant for his apartment. The department carried out the search yesterday. Inside the apartment, the deputies found drugs, weapons, and cash. They also found a four-month-old baby sleeping about 5 feet away from where he was cutting up and weighing his fentanyl. They contacted Child Services. They interviewed the child's mother. They already had interviewed this woman last year for stuff, and they arrested both the people there. He got arrested for distribution of fentanyl, 4 counts, possession with the intent to distribute fentanyl, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon 2 times, possession of a firearm with drugs 2 counts, operation of a meth lab, possession of drugs in the presence of a juvenile, cruelty to juvenile, possession of marijuana, possession of Suboxone, and drug paraphernalia. The mama, Kenesha Flowers, she was arrested for cruelty to a juvenile. They found 1.5 ounces of fentanyl. It's over 150 doses, lethal doses. 1 Suboxone strip, 2 grams of marijuana, a 9mm semi-auto handgun, no serial number. They think maybe a ghost gun, a Taurus 9mm, and $1,359 cash, and numerous scales with fentanyl residue on it. Thank goodness this child didn't crawl over or something and touch this fentanyl. It would have been, the 3rd or 4th one in the Baton Rouge area that would have been died from drug overdose in the last year, over the last 12 months. It's ridiculous. People like that should never, ever be allowed to have children again. I don't care if she goes through the thing, oh, they got themselves cleaned up, and it's you cared so little about your child in the first place that you would put it in a situation close to that kind of stuff. You should never. I don't care how much you say you get yourself cleaned up or anything like that. Screw you. You're never going to win a Parent of the Year. You should never be able to have children at all. Never again. Now let's see. Here's my picture. Fine looking fella right there. What did he do? Well, he's been arrested on child porn charges and also charges of pretending to be a teenager on Snapchat. The deputies with East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office have arrested a 37-year-old who said he pretended to be a teenager on Snapchat and to trade sexually explicit photos and videos with minors. Kenneth Jerome Allen Jr. right here was arrested on Thursday, February the 9th, charged with 1 count of possession of pornography involving juveniles, 3 counts of distribution of pornography involving juveniles, and indecent behavior with juveniles. So obviously he must have talked one of them into doing something with them. I don't understand it. Snapchat reportedly notified the authorities after a video containing child pornography was uploaded onto his the social media app and linked to him. They said he sent a nude photo of himself to a minor, even though she had identified herself as being underage and told him that she was not into nudes or anything freaky. Allen reportedly told the victim that he was 19 years old and sent her a photograph of someone who was not him, record shows. He was found to also have engaged in 8 other chats with other underage girls, which he sent a total of 3 nude photos of himself and solicited nude photos from them. He falsely identified himself in the conversations as to being 16 and 19 years old. So this man is just a sick man. Hopefully he gets butt raped in prison. That what would be good for him. Would be very good for him. This young man right here, I think he's the one that got I think this guy is the one that got murdered. They have arrested some people at Bogalusa High School. I believe he was killed at his birthday party, or at a birthday party. Said 5 minors were taken into custody after their involvement in a deadly shooting at a birthday party left a 15-year-old boy dead almost 2 months ago. So he was 15, dead. Unnecessary violence, probably over something extremely stupid. The boy didn't need to die. Bogalusa Police Department announced that the arrest Tuesday morning of multiple teens were being taken into custody. This was Rodney King Taylor. He was shot on December 9th at an extremely large crowd gathered at a birthday party on Warren Street. He had 2 other kids that were struck by gunfire and taken to the hospital, but I believe they survived. They're hoping that, having an arrest made for the killing of their kid will bring a little bit rest to the parents, and they didn't say what the kids were charged with yet. But it depends on how old these other kids are. If even if they got juvenile, if they get convicted of juvenile life, they'll still get out in about 4 or 5 years. I mean, does it really count at that point? So. The police have finally made an arrest in a Broussard case. They announced the arrest of Joseph Randall of Opelousas. He was booked on burglary and 12 counts of animal cruelty. Because what did he do? He broke into the zoo called Louisiana or something like that. And he stole 12 squirrel monkeys. And they say they have recovered the monkeys, and I guess he planned on selling them or something like that. I'm not real sure what's bad about it. The dude that did this is 61 years old. 61 years old, and he's stealing monkeys. Guess he's hanging out with the 76-year-old that broke into the Dollar General at the beginning of this podcast, right? 61 years old, and he's stealing monkeys. I don't know. We live in an upside-down world. This next one here, some of y'all probably will not. If y'all haven't been, this is y'all's first time watching something, y'all won't recognize her. This lady right here, she is the one that got arrested because she put recording devices on her handicapped child's wheelchair and sent her to school because she thought she was being mistreated. And then they ended up arresting her for wiretapping and all this stuff like that. And, well, the judge said that no, she was booked on 20 counts of interception and disclosure of wire, electronic, or oral communication in November. This is her daughter's wheelchair. I think she should be able to do that. But the problem is the daughter was removed out of the wheelchair. But now they're saying, why was she ever taken out of the wheelchair? There was no reason for her to be taken out of the wheelchair. So it says that the U.S. District Court based in Baton Rouge on Monday, summonses were issued to the sheriff's office, the sheriff in Livingston Parish, the school board, and Chad Dupie, a school board resource officer. Each has 21 days to answer the allegations of the lawsuit. Personally, I think she has. What's up, Jim? She has a good case of she's gonna get paid. She should never. I don't believe she should have been arrested. So we'll see that we'll definitely get updates on that one. Like I said, that one's if you're not a new listener. That one's a while back. Now this next piece of shit. You'll see right here. That's what inbreeding does, okay? Because that's the only thing I can see what's going on with this. Anyway, this guy, he got arrested on several charges. What did he do? Wasn't for being real smart or good looking, was it? Anyway, it's happened in Albany, Louisiana. A man, he was arrested Sunday after a domestic disturbance. Okay, so you and your girlfriend, you and your wife, you're having a pissing contest, you argue and you're fighting, right? Happens every day. People do it all the time. You just don't put your hands on people. Well, this disturbance led to 4 dogs being shot while they were locked in their kennel. He did that. Look at him. According to Lewis Parish Sheriff's Office, Ricky Tullis, Ricky dumbass Tullis right here, went to a residence in Addis, Louisiana, which is about 40 miles away from where this happened. And he caused a domestic disturbance. 3 people in the home were left unharmed. They said 4 dogs were found dead in locked cages with shell casings laying nearby. He was booked for 1 count of domestic abuse, aggravated assault, 1 count of domestic abuse, aggravated assault with a child endangerment, 1 count of aggravated assault with a firearm, 2 counts of false imprisonment, 4 counts of illegal use of weapons, 4 counts of aggravated cruelty to animal, 1 count of resisting with force or violence causing minor injuries, possession of a Schedule II drugs, and arson. They did not clarify why the arson charges were added. Hey, I hope this son of a bitch gets his ass handed to him in prison. He went and shot 4 freaking dogs that was laid up in the kennels, not bothering nobody. Probably because it was some girlfriend of his or whatever woman this was. Probably his cousin that he'd been screwing or something by the looks of him. And shot these dogs probably because she loved the dogs and he wanted to hurt her. And these poor animals didn't do anything. Come on. Yeah, it looked like he could be his own cousin. Anyway, I don't even want to look at this dude no more. I just want to punch that piece of crap in the face right there. Shit like that pisses me off. Can't stand people like that hurting animals. Animal didn't do nothing to you. This next one, going back, we had the 2 old guys, right? Well, 3. We had a 50, 76-year-old, and the 61-year-old. We've gotten arrested. And we had the 2 14-year-olds for carjacking, right? And the other ones that, killed somebody. Hello, Cajun Princess. I just threw an extra one out. Like I said, I'll be going live. I'm leaving the house probably around 8 to go do some more escorts, and I'll live stream that. Just hope it's cold as shit outside. I know that I'm going to have to go get back dressed in my uniform before I go, but I'll be leaving in about an hour, so we're close to the end of this one. This was just unscheduled. I figured I had extra time, so I threw an extra episode out. Anyway, we had they arrested a 6th grader. Yep, a 6th grader. What did he do? Well, he wasn't playing Kiss Chase. I'll tell you that much. It happened in Baton Rouge, and they had a couple kids got brought to the hospital. What did they get brought to the hospital for? Because this 12-year-old brought gummies to school. Special gummies with a little THC in them. And started handing them out. Hey, here's some gummy bears. And, of course, some of the kids aren't used to eating weed-laced gummies and got sick. Had to go to the hospital, so they charged the kid. I'm just wondering, I'm curious, did the kid know? I mean, he's 12, so he nowadays probably know, but did the kid know that they were laced to THC gummies, or did he think, man, mom and dad got some extra gummies, and I'm just going to get them and hand them out? So I'm not sure. It didn't say. I'm not sure. In Bronson, it is that cold. It is that cold, and if you take your little skinny ass would just probably like freeze to death and break. But you don't like that. Y'all was gonna say, you better watch out, Bronson. They're gonna drug test you. So we got 12-year-olds going to jail now too. We go figure. This last piece of crap we got right here. This guy right here. This dude is a piece of crap. If I was doing a hot nut, which I'm not doing hot nut award today because we only do them on Wednesday. But it would be, I think the other guy, the dog killing guy, would probably get mine. If not, this guy right here would be the hot nut runner up right here. Because this dude's pretty much a piece of shit. Anyway, he is in jail. This happened in Santa Ma. He got arrested for allegedly shooting somebody and then running off Monday. So according to the Ascension Parish Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a reported shooting near John LeBlanc Boulevard on Airline Highway shortly after midnight Monday. Justin Chris woke up to Tyrone Jones knocking on his door. So when I sat up in bed, I looked out my window and I could see a shadow. That's when it kicked in. I knew something wasn't right. Let me go into protection mode and see what's going on. That's when I heard him beating on the door and he was screaming, "Let me in, they're trying to kill me." Yeah, I'd like to smack that smirk right off his face. So obviously he was anyway, the cops arrested Jones at the property blocks away from his home around 8 a.m. And he did all of this. Wow. Did he shoot somebody? Yeah, he did shoot the guy. Of course, the guy didn't die, thank goodness. But the guy, the whole time he was doing this, he was holding a child in his arms. So he's running around doing all this shit and having a psychotic break, shooting people with a gun, shot somebody with a gun and stuff, while holding his kid. First of all, if you're this kid's mother, why would you ever leave? Because you say what you want to. This woman knew this son of a bitch had to be crazy. Why would you leave your kid or get to somebody like this? So again, I think the parents need to be looked into because you got shit like this. Look at him. He'll get off. He'll get away with it because, they say it's crazy. They'll put him in the hospital, give him some drugs for a couple months or so, and he'll be back right on the street. And unfortunately, what I've noticed about crazy people is they don't realize they're crazy. And real crazy people, and they give them their drugs, and they get them back stable, and they put them back on the street. Well, a lot of these crazy drugs don't make you feel very good, so they stop taking the crazy drugs because they sound better. I don't need them. Then they stop taking them, and they go back to being crazy. Or they start self-medicating with street drugs, which is worse. So then next time he may kill somebody. Am I trying to flex? No, I was actually stretching a little bit because I've been sitting straight up. But I don't appreciate you looking at my arms like that, Bronson. It makes me very uncomfortable, and I'm going to have to hashtag me to you if you keep it up. Nah, never answer the door. I answer the door, but I usually, especially at my house, because I know when somebody's coming over. But I have dogs, and I also answer. I'll answer the door with a gun in my hand. So, why is my right arm bigger? Well, you really have to ask that question, Bronson. Really? You don't know? Yeah, but I answer the door with a gun in my hand. I've done it before, pistol and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just, especially doing what we do. I mean, I don't know, somebody figure out where I lived or something, mad that I arrested him or wrote him a ticket or some shit like that. You never know anymore because people are crazy. That is all the stories for this evening. Oh, it might be. Well, no, not really. Not because of the throttle. That is all the stories I had. I mean, I did 17 stories, which I think is pretty good. Most of y'all are just late. Y'all have to go back and listen. Like I said, I'll be live streaming probably when I leave all the way there, and then when we do the float escorts. Now, tomorrow, be doing it again in the mornings. And then, now, if you want to watch it, Sunday morning and Sunday evening, we'll be doing it. Plus, I'll probably do some live streaming from the parade in Thibodaux. But we bring in 30 floats Sunday. It probably takes about 2.5, 3 hour escort. It's not real fast, but it's 30 floats. It's over a mile long package, so especially coming back at night, they're still lit up. It can be interesting. But hit the little notification bell so you'll know when I go live, and y'all can check those out. So Sunday there will not be a Sunday episode. I did this extra one here because missed it. Yeah, I was early, Kelly. I was early. I'm not putting one out Sunday. I'm not going to be home. I'm going to leave. I'll be gone from dark 30 in the morning, and I won't get home till dark 30 that night. I'm just not going to have time Sunday. So this is an extra one here anyway for that one. And y'all check out the live streams I do if y'all want to. And like I say, go like and subscribe. If you want more, you can join the Patreon. If not, I'm still going to put this stuff out. And everybody be safe. Have a good weekend. And Saturday night, tomorrow night, y'all pay attention. Me and Bam are going to the Orion Mardi Gras Ball. So I went and picked up my tuxedo earlier. I will be probably around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My time central. I'll be doing some live streaming from the ball itself. So that ought to be interesting also. So stay safe and remember, be a lion. Don't be a dog, sheepdog or nothing.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day.